So to get started today, I'm not going to talk about math. We're going to talk about where you live. Okay, sounds kind of odd. Okay. Most students that go to Southwestern Middle School have a Lafayette address. Okay, so you say most students live in Lafayette. So we're going to put in this diagram all of the people that live in Lafayette, Indiana. Okay, that's quite a few people. Now, Lafayette is part of a bigger area, Tippecanoe County. Okay. So we live in Tippecanoe. Okay, so Lafayette is part of Tippecanoe. Now, you can live in Tippecanoe County and not be in Lafayette. You could live in West Lafayette. You might live in Romney. You might live in West Point. Things like that, okay? You can be part of Tippecanoe County and not be part of Lafayette, okay? So Tippecanoe County is part of a bigger area. We call that the state of Indiana. So if you live in Lafayette, you live in Tippecanoe County, you also live in Indiana. Same thing with West Lafayette or Romney. If you live in those communities, you're still part of Tippecanoe County and Indiana. But you know what? You can live in Indiana and not be part of Tippecanoe County. You could live in Montgomery County. You could live in Benton County. You could live in Clinton County. Any of the other counties. So you could live in Clinton County and be part of Indiana, but if you live in Clinton, you're not part of Lafayette. Guess what? Indiana is part of even a bigger place. That would be the United States. Okay. So if you live in Lafayette, you live in the United States. If you live in Montgomery County, you're not in Lafayette, but you're part of the United States and you're part of Indiana. But you know what? The United States has other areas too. You could live in Illinois. You could live in my favorite, Wisconsin. You could live in Kansas. You could live in Massachusetts. So there are many other areas that you are in the United States and you're part of different entities. The United States is part of even a bigger area. Let's just call that the world. Okay? This whole area is the world. The United States is part of it. But you know what? You could live in the world and not live in the United States. You could live out here. You could live in Canada. You could live in Europe. You could, you get the idea. What does this have to do with math? Good question. Let's say we have our most basic numbers. These are called the natural numbers. Natural numbers are what we might call the counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, things like that. Okay, they're part of another subset. That is called the whole numbers. So what the whole numbers are, it's everything in here, all of our natural numbers, and 0. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up forever. The whole numbers are part of even a bigger set. These are called the integers. So the integers are the natural numbers, which are part of the whole numbers, and they are also the negative numbers. So we have numbers such as -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, on and on and on. Those are our integers. So the integers are the natural and the whole and the negative numbers. We even have a bigger subset of that. And we call these the rational numbers. The rational numbers. So we learned in a previous lesson that rational numbers are anything that can be written as a fraction. Anything that can be written as a fraction. So this could be 3/4, 1/2, -1/3. It is also any decimal, 0.4, 0.7, -0.12. It is also any repeating decimal. 0.3 repeating, -0.1 repeating, things like that. Anything that can be written as a fraction is considered a rational number. So it also includes all the integers, which also includes the whole numbers, which also includes the natural numbers. So if I have the number 0.4, it is a member of the rational numbers, but it is not in the natural numbers. Now, our rational numbers are even part of a bigger set of numbers. We call these real numbers, the real numbers. So there's another part of the real numbers, and we're just gonna put that where Canada used to be. These are called the irrational numbers. So we've got rational numbers, they're in this big area here. Then we have irrational numbers, okay? So an irrational number is a number that is a decimal that is not terminating, meaning it doesn't do anything really cool like just 0.7 or -0.12. It goes on and on forever, but does not repeat. So such as a square root of a non-perfect square is a great example. So square root of 5, that is an irrational number. It does not repeat. It does not terminate. It goes on forever. Even things like negative square root of 7. We haven't had this yet, but the number pi, 3.1415926, blah, blah, it goes on forever. It does not repeat. So those are all, these are our big families of numbers. One last thing that we're going to learn today is called the density property. What the density property says that if I have two numbers, I can always find a number right between them. Two numbers exist. I can find a number between them. And we will work more on this in class. Thank you.